Hello friends, today in this lecture I am going to discuss with you one more important subtopic of electromagnetic induction, that is energy density of magnetic field. I already discussed with you energy stored in magnetic field, which is given by half Li square. Clear? Now energy density means what? What's the basic concept? Energy density, it means what? Suppose there is a particular volume has been occupied. In that particular volume, how much energy has been stored, and that particular space or volume is in magnetic field. So this is a concept of energy density. So energy stored per unit volume is called as energy density. Clear? Okay. That derivation now we have to do here. Okay. Consider this is a solenoidal structure. As you know, solenoid means coil. Actually, the internal structure of solenoid, interior side of solenoid look like this. Clear? Now, this is the length of the solenoid, and this is the magnetic field. This magnetic field is going into the plane of the paper, and this is going out of the paper, because this is a coil. So definitely, as per the observer's perspective, the field direction also changes, because as we know that if this is a conductor, then if current is upward, field is towards me, and if current is downward, field is away from me. It means from observer's point of view, current direction changes, then the field direction also changes. So that's why this particular segment indicates field going into the plane, and this field coming out of the plane, and this is the length of the solenoid. And these lines indicates what? These are magnetic field lines which are passing through the particular area of the solenoid. Clear? Okay. Now listen. A current carrying solenoid. This particular solenoid carries current so that the magnetic field develop inside of that particular solenoid, or interior side of the interior side of the solenoid, magnetic field is developed. Now, as already we are familiar with the energy stored in magnetic field, so this derivation is quite extension of that derivation only. There is no new thing that we have to derive here. So that's why this is a very easy topic actually. Clear? Okay. Now, energy stored per unit volume in magnetic field, basically as I discussed with you, UB, that is energy density, which is what? Energy stored upon volume, which is equal to energy stored upon volume. Volume means actually what? Length into area, cross-sectional area. It means it covers volume. This is the length of solenoid, L, and this is the area of cross-section. So this area into length will give me volume. Clear? Okay. Now, this is the equation number 1. That is UB is equal to capital UB by L. It is the basic formula. So means what? We have to put some values in this equation number 1 to get final expression. Now, UB is equal to half Li square upon Al. Now, from where this half Li square comes? It is the energy stored in magnetic field. And this Al is what? Volume. So, is equal to what? After simplifying this L upon L, I square upon 2A. This is the equation number 2. Actually, this is the equation from equation 1 only. Clear? Now, one important point. Now, for longer solenoid, we know that the self-inductance of solenoid is equal to mu 0 n square Al. As I discussed with you, the self-inductance of solenoid. So self-inductance of solenoid is equal to mu 0 n square Al, where L is the length, that this is the length. Now inductance per unit length means what? Capital L upon small l, because this is inductance per unit length, is mu 0 n square A, because inductance is mu 0 n square Al, that L has to be divided to this L, so that I am getting mu 0 n square A. This is the equation number 3. Clear? First I wrote basic formula of energy density. Second, I substituted the expression for energy stored in magnetic field. And third, I wrote the formula for inductance per unit length of solenoid, which is mu 0 n square A. Where L is the what? Inductance of solenoid. Small l is the length of the solenoid. Small l is the number of turns per unit length, and capital A is the area of cross section. Clear? Okay. Now, this particular energy stored per unit volume can be written as, now listen here, this L upon L. So if you try to observe this, what is the important part we have to remember here? whenever I am substituting this, what equation I am getting, this particular UB, energy stored per unit volume, is equal to half Li square upon A is equal to L upon L I square upon 2A. Now L from this equation is what? Mu 0 n square AL. If I substitute this L into this particular equation number 2, then I am getting UB is equal to what? Mu 0 n square I square by 2. So this actually mu 0 n square I square by 2, it is the energy density. Once again I am telling you from where it comes. This L is actually mu 0 n square AL. That capital L, that is self inductance, has to be substituted in this equation number 2 for capital L. And after simplifying it, you are getting small ub is equal to mu 0 n square I square upon 2. This is the formula for energy density. This is the important, mu 0 n square I square by 2. Clear? Okay. Now listen here actually what? This UB I am getting mu 0 n square I square by 2, but as per the solenoidal formula of magnetic field, I know that this is the basic formula I am getting. Energy density is mu 0 n square I square by 2, where I is the current and n is the number of turns per unit length. Mu 0 is the permeability of free space. Clear? But I am interested to know the energy density in terms of B, because magnetic field is responsible for the building up of energy or for storing the energy. That's why I have taken the help of this formula, that magnetic field inside the solenoid is what? B is equal to mu 0 Ni. Clear? So UB is equal to what? Listen here now. So in this equation, suppose I multiply with mu 0 and divided by mu 0. So what happens? So mu B is equal to mu square n square I square by 2 mu 0, because I divided and multiplied by mu 0. Now, so UB is equal to this mu 0 Ni is nothing but B. So mu 0 square n square I square is nothing but B square. That's why this UB is equal to B square upon 2 mu naught. So this is an important formula for energy stored per unit volume of a solenoid. This is called as energy density. So energy density is equal to UB is equal to B square upon 2 mu naught. B square upon 2 mu naught. What is the energy density? B square upon 2 mu naught, where B is the what? Magnetic induction or magnetic flux density, and mu naught is what? This is the what? This is the permeability of free space, that is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Henry per meter. So what formula I have to remember? That energy stored per unit volume, that is energy density of magnetic field, is B square by 2 mu naught. Clear? So in the previous lecture, final formula that I have given to you, that is B square by 2 mu naught. So that formula derivation we did the derivation in this particular lecture. Clear? So this is the important point. That time I wrote only formula, that is B square by 2 mu naught. But from where that formula comes? In this manner that formula has. Okay. Clear? So this is the equation for energy stored per unit volume. Clear? Okay. So what important formulas you are required to use in this particular derivation? Magnetic field of solenoid mu 0 Ni, energy stored in magnetic field is half Li square, volume is what? AL. Clear? So finally you are getting energy density of magnetic field is UB is equal to B square upon 2 mu naught. Clear? Okay. Now we are going to start another subtopic, that is mutual inductance. Now this is an important topic from exam point of view, and application oriented also this particular topic gains more weightage, because many applications in electrical field are based on this particular mutual inductance concept. Mutual inductance, as already we have discussed self inductance, so likewise mutual inductance. Listen here now. Mutual inductance related with more than one coil or more conductors, whereas the self inductance was associated with only one coil. In that case there was only one coil present. Here more than one coil. Clear? Okay. Now consider there are two coils, coil 1 and coil 2. Definitely coil means it is wound in the form of number of turns, so that definitely what happens, there will be flux is associated with it, and AB is the flux associated with that particular coil. Clear? Now listen here. What happens? First coil is connected to a rheostat, which is to adjust the current, then key and battery, and second coil is placed in the vicinity of first coil, and galvanometer is connected across the second coil. Clear? Okay. Now what happens when key is closed? That time what happens? Current starts flowing through this coil. Suppose I is the current at any instant t, because it is a time varying current. Clear? Okay. So since that current is time varying current, so what happens? As the current flowing through the conductor changes or coil changes, as per the Oersted, what happens? The magnetic field is created around this particular conductor. Clear? That magnetic field creates magnetic flux. So due to current I1 which is flowing through this coil, there is a magnetic field is created around that conductor, and due to that magnetic field there is a magnetic flux which links with the coil number 1. As the coil number 2 is in the vicinity of coil number 1, what happens? That flux generated by, or that magnetic field generated by coil number 1 links with the coil number 2. As the coil number 2 also contains a large number of turns, so that magnetic field generated by the first coil which links with the second coil, and due to that particular linkage of flux with second coil, there is a EMF is induced in a second coil. Clear? It means what? EMF is induced in a second coil. It means this galvanometer shows deflection. So EMF is induced in a second coil, but because of which current? Because of current in the first coil. It means second coil is not directly connected to the volt battery. Even though the second coil shows deflection in the galvanometer, it means what? The current is flowing in the second coil, or the EMF is induced in the second coil due to change in the flux in the first coil. So this is called as mutual inductance. The production of induced EMF in the second coil due to change in the current in the first coil, this is called as mutual inductance. It means there is a linkage. These two coils are what? These two coils are magnetically coupled, electrically isolated. Why? Because this is a flux of first magnetic coil. This is a flux of first coil. That flux is linking with the second coil. Okay, so that's why these are called as magnetically coupled but electrically isolated, because directly volt supply is not given to second coil, it has been given to first coil, but EMF is induced in a second coil. Clear what is meant by mutual induction? Okay, yes. Now listen here. Now this is an arrangement. Actually this is a point I have written to understand. Consider two coils placed side by side two coils are placed. Suppose current I1 is flowing through first coil. Due to this current, magnetic field B1 will be produced in nearby region as current is flowing through this coil. So due to the current, that particular coil shows magnetic effect and magnetic field is created around the coil, because there is an influence of the field around the space or in the space. Clear? You know that the space around the something in which influence is felt is called as field. As this particular effect is magnetic, so that field is what? Magnetic field, and that magnetic field is produced in the region around the first coil. Okay, and the second coil is in that particular field effect, or second coil is in the field of first coil, so that flux link with the second coil and EMF is induced in the second coil. Clear? Okay. Now I am giving some specific terms. That flux which links with the second coil, the flux which is linking from first coil to second coil, that flux is denoted by phi21. Phi21 means what? Many student does not understand how to interpret this. Phi21, listen here, this particular phi21 or phi21 is the flux links with the second coil, okay, from first coil. So final to initial, flux linking with second coil, and that flux is coming from first coil. That's why this is phi21. Clear? Now listen here, we have studied flux of field topic in this chapter 1. Okay, So the flux, in the flux of field topic, I given you how to write the flux formula. Revise it or recall it. Phi 21 is equal to integration of B1 bar dot dA bar. Now what is this dA bar? dA bar is the area, okay, which links with the flux or field created by the first coil. This is the area. Which area? Area of second coil. And it links with which flux? Flux generated by the first coil. That's why it is B1 bar. That's why S2 means what? Area of second coil. And this dA means what? Small segment of that S2 that I already discussed with you. That's why I have written here integration. So overall flux can be evaluated. Clear? Okay. That's why phi 21 is the flux links with second coil from first coil as the current is changing in the first coil, which is given by integration of S2 B1 bar dot dA bar. Clear? This is equation number 1. Where S2 is the effective area enclosed by coil number 2. Effective word is important here actually. What is meant by effective? Effective means the part of the area which is under the influence of the flux. Only that portion of area with which the flux is linking, that is called effective area. We are not interested in overall area of the coil. Clear? Okay. It means what? Suppose the current is changing from, I am changing the current from this particular coil. So definitely what will happen? As current is changing, definitely field also changes. If current is increases, flux inside this coil will increases. If current decreases, flux inside this coil will decrease. It means what? Flux is directly proportional to current flowing through first coil. That's why I have written phi 21 is proportional to I1. Clear? This is an important point. Current in the first coil changes, but flux in the second coil affected. Clear? Now, that's why this phi 21, I am now removing some proportionality sign. I am introducing some constant. That is phi 21 is equal to M21 I1. This M21 is the constant of proportionality and it is called as mutual inductance or mutually induced EMF due to that M21. Clear? So this is called as mutual inductance. This is a concept. The mutual inductance is the identity of mutual induction. It is the identity card of mutual inductance concept. Clear? Okay. That's why M21 is phi 21 upon I1 from here only. Clear? Okay. Suppose now second case. Suppose I1 changes slowly with time. Now what will happen? Now I try to change the I1. So definitely magnetic field B1 in the vicinity of coil 2 related to I1 also changes. As I1 changes, magnetic field B1 related to I1 in this coil changes, and due to that change in the magnetic field, this coil will experience such change in magnetic flux links with that coil, and as per Faraday's law, once again, EMF is induced in the second coil, and that EMF is given by what? E21. Why E21? Because that induced EMF in the second coil due to change in the current in the first coil. That E21 is equal to minus d phi 2 by dt. So basic formula remains same. E is d phi by dt. But now specific phi is not only phi, it is phi 21. Why it is phi 21? Because flux links with second coil which is flowing from first coil. And due to that EMF induced in second coil only, which is E21. That's why E21 is equal to minus d phi 21 by dt, which is equal to minus M21 di1 by dt. This is an important one. Okay, how to interpret this formula? Listen here. EMF induced in a second coil due to change in current in the first coil, which is equal to mutual inductance associated between two coils into rate of change of current in the first coil. Okay, as the current is changing in the first coil, that's why the EMF is induced in the second coil. And this phenomena is interpreted by using this constant, which is called as mutual inductance. Clear? Okay. Suppose current I2 is now allowed to flow through coil 2. Now what happened? Now I have connected battery to second coil. So definitely if I connected this battery to second coil, now current will flow through second coil. As the current I2 allowed to flow to second coil, so that's why what happens? The flux is produced in the second coil. That flux now start to link with the first coil. Now I am here using some different terms for flux. Now I am using phi 12. Phi 12 means what? Flux linking with first coil which is coming from second coil. Phi21 was what? Flux linking with second coil which was coming from first coil. So that's why this Phi12 is proportional to which current? I2. Why? Because I am now I2 is changing, and that's why the flux linking with first coil. That's why Phi12 is proportional to I2. So Phi12 is equal to M12 into I2, where I2 is the current in the second coil and M12 is the mutual inductance between 1 and 2 coil. Clear? So M12 and M21 are in generalized sense called as mutual inductances, whereas M12 is the mutual inductance when current in the second coil is changing, and M21 is the mutual inductance when current in the first coil changing. Clear? Okay. So that's why M12 is equal to Phi12 upon I2. So this formula can be remembered in the shortcut manner. How? This is M12, so flux is also Phi12. If it is M21, then flux is also Phi21, because as we know that inductance means flux per unit change in current. Clear? Okay. That's why now EMF induced in the first coil is what? E12. Why? Because now current is changing in the second coil, but EMF is induced in the first coil. That's why E12. E12 is equal to minus M12 into dI2 by dt. Okay, into dI2 by dt. So EMF induced in a first coil due to change in current in the second coil. This is dI2 by dt is the change in current in the second coil. So in this way, mutual inductance is equal to what? It is given by, in generalized sense, Phi12 upon I1, Phi12 upon I2, or Phi21 upon I1. Listen how to remember this. M is equal to Phi21 opposite of this I1. Phi12 opposite of first is, it means what? Phi12 upon opposite of 1, 2, I2. Phi21 upon opposite of 2, 1, that is I1. Clear? So this is a mutual inductance and mutual inductance concept, or this is a phenomena. It's called as mutual induction. The phenomena in which the EMF is induced in a neighboring coil when the current is changing in the first coil, then this concept or phenomena is called as mutual induction. Clear? Okay. So in this way I have given you the basic idea about mutual induction. Now we are going to discuss some important points about mutual induction. As I already discussed with you the definition of mutual induction, inductance means what, and all the things we have covered. Now same circuit in which this is a coil 1, coil 2, current is flowing in the first circuit, and the flux produced in the flux created in the first circuit links with the flux links with the second circuit. Clear? Okay. Now basically I am now using some different terms in this context. In the concept of mutual induction, the circuit or the part of the circuit which is directly connected to external energy, that circuit is called as primary circuit, and the part of the circuit in which EMF is induced, this is called as secondary circuit. Primary means it is directly connected to source of energy, it is directly connected to supply, primary. Secondary means EMF is induced in second circuit, actually it is not directly connected to the external energy source. That's why primary and secondary. Clear? Okay. Now as we discuss now from the symmetry of the circuit means what? Number of turns of primary and secondary and same, means all area of the coil is same, okay, and all these things, permeable medium is same, it means they are symmetric. In that case this M12 is equal to M21 is equal to M, as I already discussed with you what is my M12, what is my M21. Clear? M12 means EMF induced in the first coil due to change in the current in the second coil. Now I am using different terms. M12 is the mutual inductance present when EMF induced in the first coil, which in EMF induced in the first coil due to change in current in the second coil. Now one important point here, whenever I am saying EMF induced in a first coil, it means I cannot use such terms. M12 means EMF is induced in a primary coil. No, primary coil means It is not the primary and secondary terms are used in terms of numbering. It means this is coil 1, so this is always primary. No, it is primary because battery is directly connected to it. If battery connected to this, then this becomes primary and this is now secondary. Clear? Okay. So, as we know that phi 21 is equal to Mi1, definitely EMF is induced in the second coil due to change in current in the first coil. Constant of proportionality is M. Now I am replacing M12 and M21 with M simply. So phi 21 is equal to Mi1, phi 12 is Mi2. Clear? Okay. Now mutual inductance means magnetic flux link with one circuit per unit change in current in the other circuit. Okay, other word is very, very important here. Otherwise you will not get marks. Because mutual means there should be interaction. So for interaction to occur, there should be more than one circuit. That's why the EMF is induced in one circuit, or the magnetic flux link with one circuit due to change in current in the other circuit. Clear? Okay. So the magnetic flux link with secondary circuit per unit change in current in the primary circuit is called as mutual inductance. Magnetic flux links with one circuit per unit change in current in the primary circuit, it is called as mutual inductance. Clear? Magnetic flux linked with secondary circuit per unit change in current in primary circuit, it is called as mutual inductance M. Let phi S be the magnetic flux links with secondary, means whatever, suppose it is 100% flux, out of which 90% coming here, it means 90% flux is linking with second coil, 10% is lost. So that phi S is the magnetic flux links with secondary coil, and IP is the current in the primary circuit. Now I am not again repeating primary and secondary means what. Clear? Okay. So that's why phi S is proportional to IP. Flux links with secondary coil is proportional to the current flowing in the primary coil. So which is phi S is equal to M times IP. That's why M is phi S upon IP. All are the same formulas only. Now as per Faraday's law, E is equal to minus d phi S by dt. Definitely EMF is induced in this coil. So definitely there should be change in flux. That flux is phi S. So change means derivative. So E is minus d phi S by dt, which is minus d by dt of M into IP. Where from where? Here. So that's why it is minus M into dIP by dt. So this is the E is equal to minus M dIP by dt. It means EMF induced in a secondary coil due to change in the current in the primary coil. This is called as mutual induction. So from here mutual inductance is ES upon dIP by dt. Means it is a ratio of EMF induced in a secondary circuit per unit change in the current in the primary circuit. So value of induced EMF produced in a secondary circuit per unit change in current in the primary circuit, this is called as mutual inductance. Clear? EMF induced in a secondary circuit per unit change in current in primary circuit, it is called mutual inductance. You have to remember this. Now unit of mutual inductance. Actually Henry is the standard unit, but it can be volt per ampere second. How volt per ampere second? Sorry, volt upon ampere per second. Listen here. This is volt. EMF induced is volt upon di by dt means di. Unit of di is what? Ampere. And dt is second. So it is volt upon ampere per second, which is volt second upon ampere. But volt upon ampere is what? Ohm, resistance. That's why it is ohm second. So mutual inductance unit is ohm second also. Clear? Unit of mutual inductance can be written as ohm second or Henry or volt upon ampere per second. So mutual inductance between two circuits. Now I am giving you one important definition. Mutual inductance between two circuits is 1 Henry. When EMF induced in the second circuit is 1 volt, for which there should be change of current in the primary circuit at a rate of 1 ampere per second. It means EMF induced in a secondary coil is 1 volt, and for that 1 volt, for the production of that 1 volt EMF in the secondary coil, if that change in the current in the primary coil is 1 ampere per second, then that between these two coils there is a mutual inductance of 1 Henry. It means if current flowing through first coil is I1 and that current is di1 by dt changing at a rate of 1 ampere per second, it means if in 1 second 1 ampere change in the current should take place. For that change, if the EMF induced in second coil is 1 volt, in that case, between these two coils, the mutual inductance is 1 Henry. Clear? This is the definition of mutual inductance. This is very, very important definition. So, M is equal to 1 Henry for E is equal to 1 volt, for di by dt is equal to 1 ampere per second. Clear? Okay, EMF induced in secondary coil is 1 volt, and for that 1 volt generation of EMF, if change in current in primary coil is 1 ampere per second, then EMF induced is 1 volt and the mutual inductance is 1 Henry. Clear? So, in this way I discuss with you the definition of mutual inductance. What is meant by 1 Henry mutual inductance? Clear? And what are the basic formulas that you have to remember during this mutual inductance? Clear? Now, we have to discuss important concept, that is coefficient of coupling. After discussing the mutual inductance concept, this coefficient of coupling is one of the important concept for us. Listen here. Consider this is a coil 1, coil 2, as already we have discussed. Another name for this circuit is primary coil. This is a secondary coil. Now, coefficient of coupling, I am directly giving you the definition, is a measure of portion of flux that reaches to coil 2 which is in the vicinity of coil 1. As we know that in the mutual induction concept, whenever a current is changing in the first coil, the flux is produced in the first coil that links with the second coil. How much amount of flux which is generated in the first coil will reaches or will be able to manage to reach to the second coil which is in the vicinity, means it is close to the first coil, that measure is called as coefficient of coupling. It means 100% flux is not coupled with the second coil. Only some percentage of flux is coupled with the second coil. Clear? That percentage is called as coefficient of coupling or coupling percentage. Clear? So, this is a definition. So, it means as the coefficient of coupling is more, then mutual inductance is also more, because then only there is a interaction between the two coil is good if the coefficient of coupling is more, or if it K increases, M also increases. Clear? Now, as we know that inductance is proportional to induced voltage, so now we have to derive the formula for mutual inductance. Mutual inductance is proportional to E21. Obvious, if EMF induced in the second coil is more, then definitely mutual inductance is more. That's why EMF is more. So, E21 is proportional to, now what I am written here, this E21 can be written as, how to write this formula, number of turns in which EMF is inducing. In which coil EMF is inducing? EMF is induced in a second coil. What are the number of turns of that coil? Suppose N2. What are the number of turns of first coil? N1. So, I have to take the number of turns in which EMF is induced. EMF is induced in a second coil. That's why it is proportional to N2. And this K phi1 means what? K phi1 actually means it is phi 2. Okay, K phi1 actually means phi 2. Why? Because how much amount of flux has been linked from 1 to 2. It means it is K times phi 1. Na? If phi 1 is flux produced in the first coil, out of that phi 1, how much flux has been enter into second coil, or it couples to the second coil. It means that fraction is associated with phi 1 with K. That's why it is actually K phi 1. That fraction is coming out of total flux. K phi 1 fraction will come to the second coil. It means suppose 100% flux is produced in this first coil, then 75% flux will enter. It means K phi 1 is a 75%. Out of remaining 25% has been leak. So that's why it is E21 is proportional to N2 K phi 1. Okay, this K phi 1 is actually nothing but what? This is phi 2. So, but phi 1 is the flux produced in the first coil which is proportional to I1. As the current is changing I1, so phi 1 is also changing. If I1 increases, phi 1 increases. So, phi 1 is proportional to N1. That's why E21 is proportional to N2 into K. I am replacing phi 1 with N1. So, that's why E21 is equal to M. M means coefficient of mutual induction. Okay. N1 into K. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't want to remove proportionality sign, you keep it. E21 is proportional to N1 into K. Clear? From where N1 comes, I replace phi 1 with N1 because phi 1 is the flux in the first coil and it is proportional to current in that particular coil which is I1, and number of turns and flux is directly proportional. Clear? As we know that self inductance of a coil is directly proportional to square of number of turns. So L is proportional to N square. So definitely N1 N2 means root L1 L2. Okay, L is proportional to N square. So L1 is proportional to N1 square. L2 is proportional to N2 square. So product of this square root of L1 into L2 is nothing but N1 into. That's why I am getting M is equal to K times root L1 L2. So this factor is nothing but square root of L1 into L2. Clear? So this is actually what EMF induced in a second coil. So in this way we discuss the concept of what coefficient of coupling in mutual inductance, and as we know that this particular K is the called as coefficient of coupling. So if coefficient of coupling is less than 1, in that case that coils are loosely coupled, and if coefficient of coupling is greater than 0.5, then these coils are tightly coupled. Clear? So coefficient of coupling is more means there should be more amount of flux is linked with the second coil, and so that's why you have to remember this table. If K is less than 0.5, then it is loosely coupled coil. If K is greater than 0.5, then tightly coupled coil, and if K equal to 1, then perfectly coupled coil. Clear? So this is what you have to remember with regard to coefficient of coupling. So which formula you have to remember? You have to remember mutual inductance M is equal to K times square root of L1 into L2, where L1 is the self inductance of these two coils. It means what is the important observations? Each coil must possess self inductance. So to calculate the mutual inductance, you have to always calculate the self inductance of two coils. Clear? Okay. So in this manner we have discussed the coefficient of coupling in with regard to the mutual inductance concept. Clear? Okay. So in this lecture we discuss the important concept of mutual inductance and what is meant by mutual induction. We also derived the expression for mutual inductance as well as the coefficient of coupling. Thank you.